Good morning, B.
I've been really fortunate to get to do a lot of things I never dreamed of, especially, with music or with Through the Trumpet and Call to the Post. I've been involved with a lot of events that I never dreamed I would have been. Different NCAA events, the volleyball tournament here, the bluegrass ball in Washington I think this was my fourth inauguration that I've gone down for. And
I think I saw you in a video at Valhalla for the PGA Championship. They had you
that was so fun.
perched up on a rock by a waterfall. Was that just the craziest?
It was surreal because there was fog, and when I looked up the hill, there was the clubhouse up there, and oh my gosh, it was just surreal. And to have that opportunity is just amazing.
Do you still have like pinch me moments?
Oh,
You think?
yeah, I'm getting goosebumps now just thinking about it. But being a part of the PGA and meeting people from ESPN was fantastic. So many great people that you meet along the way. I got to go into the control truck and see what they do in there. It was really fun.
To see what the other side does when they're filming you.
Yeah, it was really cool. I can't imagine keeping up with all the cameras and commercials and everything else. What they do is amazing.
This will be your 30th year at Churchill Downs. 30 years.
It's hard to believe.
You were hired in the fall of '95, so your first Derby was the year that Grindstone won in 1996. What do you remember about that first Kentucky Derby, or are you like the rest of us that when you get nervous that you may not remember that first moment?
Well, I remember back then the pagoda really was only used pretty much during Oaks and Derby. It was used actually all through the meet, but I kind of made it a little more comfortable over the years with a refrigerator, and now I've got heating and air in there in the window and stuff. So, but I remember it was just very stark, and I didn't know what I was doing. I had to turn up the mic from a box inside the pagoda and then walk out to the mic.
You were your own engineer.
Yeah, kind of,
You're your own production that first year.
I would just wait for the horses to come through the tunnel, and then when I'd see them get close to the track, I would turn it on and go out and wait. And then when the first racehorse or the outrider would get to the track is when I would play the Call to the Post.
Mm-hmm. Was it explained to you, this is Steve, when we want you to come up and do,
Yeah. But
because you were already doing something similar at Keeneland over in Lexington.
I started here first, and then when Bucky decided to retire, Keeneland reached out to me, and we interviewed to see if it would be a good fit. So I've been there about 12 years, and that's been another fantastic opportunity. They're two different places. They're both amazing in what they can do. But I'd never been to Keeneland before. I played with Bucky once at the horse park for the equestrian games, I think it was. But I had always wanted to get him here to Churchill to play the Call to the Post, and I never did. And I really regret not being more, just because I thought he deserves that recognition. And he was at Keeneland 54 years.
54 years.
And what an icon.
Was that someone in your career that you looked up to? That you could say, I want to do what he does?
Yeah, just his connection with all the fans was incredible. Even sometimes at Keeneland now, people will call me Bucky, and I don't correct them. I'm just like, I'm glad that we sort of had the same physique, so same coat. So I'm honored that they connect us together.
Yeah.
And he was an incredible musician, played with a lot of different bands, and he could play saxophone, trumpet, I believe piano, and I'm sure I'm leaving out stuff, but he was quite a musician too.
You grew up in Iowa, right?
Yeah.
So what in the world led this boy from Iowa to end up in Kentucky?
Well, my trumpet teacher in Cedar Rapids went to the University of Louisville and studied with Leon Rapier. And so a lot of his students from Cedar Rapids would come down here to Louisville to study with him. And I think at one time we had like 7 of us down here at once, which was kind of crazy, but I didn't want to go anywhere else except wherever Mr. Rapier was. And so that's what made me come down to Louisville. And then once I got here, I just loved it. And it became home.
So take me through that audition with Churchill Downs. Did you go with somebody else? And like, how did that all come about?
Well,
I feel like this was like a real stars aligned. Like, I believe in that. I believe certain moments happen for a reason. God places you in places you need to be at the right time. Did you feel like everything was lining up in that audition, that this is where I'm meant to be?
I didn't realize it until I could look back at it, because that morning, I was having my wife's car worked on at Midas, having the brakes done. And so I thought, well, I don't know if I'm going to get there or not. The audition was at 11. So I took my trumpet and warmed up on the curb, and just in case. And I got...
Just in case you make it on time?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was like, I'm going to be late, but I'll just tell them what's going on, and hopefully they'll still let me go through the process. So I get there. There's 8 of us that showed up. Everyone's in a coat and tie. I'm in cutoffs, a windbreaker, and tennis shoes. I was like, oh my God, this is terrible. You don't show up to an audition like this. And, but they had all of us play our call to the post. They narrowed it down to 2 of us. And then we kind of went back and forth playing our call to the post. It
was like a call to the post off.
Yeah. And then the panel went and deliberated, and I was lucky enough to be the one that they had picked.
Did they tell you right then and there?
Yeah. Which was just shocking, because a lot of us, well, I think almost all of us knew each other from U of L. And Steve and I were in the same quintet together. Steve Buttleman and Steve Buttleman were the 2 finalists, if that's not ironic.
So they couldn't even just say Steve B is our winner?
Right. So
which one?
I was just floored, because Steve Buttleman is a fantastic trumpet player, always has been. So I think what helped was that I was maybe a little bit older, more settled down. And I think that helped, because my family was here. I had kids, so I really wasn't going to go moving to, another, get my master's or doctorate or anything. So I think just being stable life-wise, I think helped.
I think it's also because you have a little flair.
Oh, perhaps.
You have a little flair in your performance. I've heard that's how you're described sometimes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I never think
Listen,
of that.
I've heard you play over here when it's a theme day. You totally throw different things out there and go for it.
It's fun.
Yeah.
But as a musician, you're always your own worst critic. So I'll hear tiny little things that nobody else may pick up. But so I'm never really super satisfied with how I play. Come on. That wasn't a good one. Gosh, but I'm glad that I make everybody happy. Now, I've had some call to the post where I wish I could have sucked them back into the horn. You're like, I was like, oh, what happened there? There was one time a couple of years ago, November, where I had like an interaction with a medication I was taking,
Oh, no.
and I couldn't tell what the muscles were doing in my face. I would play the call to the post in the pagoda, come out fine. I'd go out and play for the race, and something
Something really,
unknown would
really
just come out, and
sideways.
I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on. It was horrible.
See, you make me feel better because I still get nerves when I interview people that I'm like, I can't wait to interview this person. And you sounds like you can still, if you know it's not like your on day, you'll still get nervous.
Oh, absolutely. And even if you're on, like if everything feels really focused and in your lips, I still cautiously grateful for everything that comes out well,
Yeah.
because I don't feel like it's anything that I do. Sometimes I feel like, I mean, that God's helping me through things that I don't deserve to be helped through. But I'm just like, thank you for that one. Thanks.